Kenneth, SBM Boxing. Let's speak boxing. Last night, great showdowns at the Little MGM Georgia Boxing Union's house. Adrian the Prowler Broner put on a great performance. Keith One-Time Thurman put on a great performance. NBC, national television, Al Heyman, they did a good job. But, you know, they need some tweaking and stuff like that. It still was amateur in certain areas. But I'm pretty sure as things progress, the more and more they continue to do events and host cards and stuff like that, it's going to get a lot better. But anyways, I'm not going to touch bases on that. But it was a great night of fights, just period. But Rocky Espinoza, I get it, man. I was just messing with you and stuff like that. I appreciate the feedback and always the support that you provide. I completely agree with what you were saying. I understand where you're coming from with John Molina. With John Molina's performance that he put against Lucas Batiste, you thought he was going to take the same approach coming into this fight. But, you know, stylistically, styles make fights, and Adrian Broner's a completely different fighter than Lucas Batiste. And I always also say you're just as good as your last fight, and it really, really depends on your team coming into 90-day training camp. What type of game plan are you implementing in this? And you can obviously see from the last fight that Adrian Broner looked flat-footed. He looked soft. He looked quick in and out, was able to utilize the ring, and looked very, very fast on his feet. So that's a lot of work that they were able to put in. And coming in after the weigh-in, a lot of people, like I said, you know, a lot of people were saying that Adrian Broner didn't make weight. He was +1. He was 141 pounds, which is no issue because in the contract it was 140 +1. So realistically, he was fine. But he did have 2 hours to drop that one weight. But it's not like it was a major, nothing major. I know a lot of people sitting there saying that, you know, because he's +1, he had a shitty training camp and things like that. But one of the things that they got to take into consideration, these fighters, they're dropping 5 or 10 pounds overnight, whether it's water rate, steam room, sauna, hot bath, staying away from heavy fluids, any heavy foods and stuff like that. Why? Because it's a common thing. It's common to drop 5 or 10 pounds. But as far as even some fighters drop 15, 20, which is a little OD, but just too much to extreme. But like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Canelo Alvarez tends to do it as well. They go over 10 pounds as far as the hydration level, just to drop, just to make weight. But Adrian Broner, yeah, he probably dropped 8 to 10 pounds and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's perfectly fine. But the fight itself, Adrian looked really, really good. Stylistically, looked very well. I was shocked by John Molina, the game approach that he had. He was trying to box the boxer. He was out trying to outpoint the pointer itself. Looking at the tapes and stuff like that, I would figure that he would attack. He would press just like Marcus Madonna did. But no, he was sitting there trying to utilize his speed and trying to outbox Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, yes, he looked quick in and out, but throughout that fight, he didn't hurt John Molina whatsoever. John Molina, knowing that, I think John Molina was just overwhelmed with his speed. That's it. But John Molina at some times, I would say 3rd to 4th round, he started picking up the pace, but he fell back. And, you know, I had my suspicions in that fight, so I completely do agree with you. Rocky Espinoza, that was real skeptical. I'm real skeptical about that. You know, it just didn't make sense. Molina didn't look good whatsoever. You know, it looked like he was holding back. I'm trying not to talk negative whatsoever, but you know, there's something fishy about that fight itself. But I'm not taking anything away from Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner went in there and did his thing. But it's just, I don't know, if Molina held back or didn't held back, he didn't implement he wasn't ready to win that fight. You know, he didn't come in with the winning mentality. But anyways, as far as the Keith Thurman fight and Robert Ghost Guerrero, Keith Thurman looked really, really good. Robert Ghost Guerrero, big heart, big chin. I like the fact, once again, just like his last fight, a Bandu fight, a lot of people disagreed, and a lot of people felt that Keith Thurman, One-Time Thurman, he didn't knock out Bandu, and you just realized that people were saying that he's a shit fighter. But Keith Thurman's the real deal. As he fights better opposition, as he starts fighting C-class, B-class, A-class fighters, B- fighters, B+ fighters, fighting guys that are definitely title holders and stuff like that, you got to kick up the game plan, man. He did realize that no matter trying to knock out Robert Ghost Guerrero, yes, he was. I mean, he came out victorious as far as being able to knock him down, but the Ghost was able to get back up and do some damage. And anytime Keith Thurman tried to step in, come in the pocket, and exchange with Robert Ghost Guerrero, which is the wrong person to exchange with, Keith felt it, you know. Keith didn't hit the canvas or anything like that, but I like the fact that he was able to switch up his style, which makes him a little bit more versatile, which makes him potential, gives him extra tools as far as being a full 5-tool fighter to be able to switch and adapt to a changing environment. And that's what it takes to be a long-reigning champion. That's what it takes to be a great fighter. He has a lot of potential. He was able to utilize the ring. His jab looked really, really good. He kept the distance, and he countered really good. You know, sometimes he got a little bit of sloppy. He paid for it, but he was able to gather himself, come back, and just be patient. Outbox him, outpoint him. But the Ghost is not easy. It's not an easy fighter. Why? Because he has a fucking a chin of iron, chin of steel. That guy's a wall. You know, Robert did a good job as far as boxing him. You know, he fell short a couple times, but he was able to bounce back and put on a great fight. The Ghost, yeah, he lost on the scorecards by majority decision. So on paper, that fight looks like a shit fight, but all in all, it was a great fight. You know, Keith Thurman had to dig deep. What's next for Keith Thurman? What's next for the Ghost? Keith Thurman itself, I think the Ghost, you know, Josita Lopez is stepping in the ring with Berto. I think Berto should win that fight, even though Berto lost to Ortiz. Lopez broke Ortiz's jaw. I think it'll be a good fight for the Ghost after Berto beats Lopez to go ahead and take on Berto. You know, that'll be a good fight. Berto's trying to get back into the rankings. The Ghost, after this loss, you know, he's always a respectable opponent. You know, I predicted that Thurman was going to win this fight, but the Ghost is still a legitimate opponent. He's still someone you can't take lightly. But as far as Keith, stylistically, he showed that he has the power. Stylistically, he showed that he can box. And he's quick. He's quick. He's quick on his feet. He's moving around the ring. The last 2 rounds, I was a little upset that he was running around the ring, but it's cool. It's all right. You know, he was sticking and moving. He had the Lada approach. But I agree. You know, I agree that he's definitely the real deal. But stylistically, I want to see him fight somebody quick. Quicker. You know, I would like to see him fight Amir Khan. That'd be a hell of a fight. I would like to see him fight a Timothy Bradley. That'd be a hell of a fight. I would like to see him fight a Cal Brook. That'd be a hell of a fight. Just to see how he adapts to that style as far as being quick, being able to box. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. This is Kenneth, SBM Boxing. Friend request, subscribe. Who do you think's next for Keith Thurman? If Keith Thurman beats someone on the likes of Amir Khan, which that shit ain't gonna happen. I think Amir will beat Keith Thurman. If he beats somebody on the likes of Timothy Bradley or the likes of Cal Brook, that's gonna line him up a payday. Even if he wants to come up to 154 and get the real deal and capture a belt, at 154, there's some opposition out there that Keith Thurman might want to go after. But anyways, guys, like I said, this is Kenneth with SBM Boxing. For everyone who subscribe, we've been pumping the videos. We're going to continue to do it, and we're going to be a little bit more active. The website's getting worked on. But anyways, have a good one.